back to another episode of the Cardinal Chronicles. I'm here with my co-host Dylan and a very special guest, Jaylen Blake. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing
And
great.
I'm great.
Thanks for coming on, man. We have a superstar on the show again this week. We have a great superstar on this show. I'm very excited to get going on this show, and yeah, um, it's going to be a good one this week.
Yeah, so my first question for you, Jaylen, is just kind of talk about, beginning your collegiate career at Duke and just what that experience was like altogether.
Yeah, first off, I just want to say thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
Luke, I've seen you a lot in the media room and the press
Yeah,
conferences, so
yeah.
it's great to see you once again. But
Thank you.
my first 3 years at Duke was unbelievable. That's an experience that you can't get with the storied history that Duke has. My freshman year being Coach K's last year, going to a Final Four, and then being with Coach Shire, winning an ACC tournament. And then, making it to the Elite Eight. And I think just overall the experience was great. Obviously, playing in front of the Cameron Crazies, wearing that Duke uniform, that's something that, is just so treasured and being a part of the brotherhood. But another thing is just being a part of the Duke community, the people that you were able to meet, the professors that you were able to interact with, and also impacting the community of Durham is something that's truly special. And my 3 years at Duke were unbelievable.
Yeah, and kind of building off of that before I ask another thing is like played in front of a bunch of people in Coach K's last campaign. It was like a very crazy time. Just kind of talk me through that season and what it was like as a team to take the floor, knowing that you guys needed to give it all in Coach K's last go around.
Yeah, obviously knowing that, obviously we want to give our all, regardless, but, obviously there was a lot of anticipation for that final year for Coach K and, a lot of things we just banded together as a group and really the camaraderie that we had as a group for Coach K and also the people that were in support of us. I think there was a lot of support for us and we felt that, as we were going out there, that it just wasn't us five out there or just us 15. It was just the whole community and a lot of support behind us.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that was a crazy season.
yeah. And so, Stanford's obviously a very different environment and all that. So what drew you to Stanford and kind of what, made you buy into the program, knowing that you were coming from a big basketball school in Durham, coming to Palo Alto, not as big of a basketball school, but still a big athletic school. Kind of what drew you to the program overall, though?
Yeah, definitely. The decision to go to Stanford, I mean, is just one of the best decisions I've made. I mean, just, hearing, Coach Smith, his first year, and obviously the history of Stanford, they used to hoop. They were number one in the country. They made it to,
Yeah.
the Final Four. So there's a lot of basketball history along wearing that, Stanford uniform. And that's something that Coach Smith and the coaching staff and a lot of the Cardinal community want to bring back, and that's something that I wanted to be a part of, as well as you're surrounded by great people, and that's something that if you want to be the best that you can be, you want to be surrounded by the best. And iron sharpens iron. I mean, you just look around when you go into Maples Arena, you just see the amount of championships that Stanford has as a collective unit. Every sport, you have Olympians just walking next to you. You have future CEOs just in the classroom sitting next to you. So to be a part of that community, around great people and just around the best of the best, you're not going to get something like that. And also being on the West Coast wasn't too bad either.
That makes
Yeah, for
sense.
sure. Speaking of Coach Smith a little bit, obviously it was his first year at Stanford. A lot of transfers came in, but an incredible season. He led the team amazing. Can you just kind of talk about, what he meant to you guys and, what it was like being coached under Coach Smith?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Smith is great. He kind of embraced us all. Obviously, we had a brand new team. I mean, that's pretty normal with the transfer portal nowadays, but for him stepping into his first year of being, the coach at Stanford, having a bunch of new transfers, having really a bunch of new guys that he hasn't really coached before, I think, what he did a great job of was maximizing everybody's talents and potential and just making sure that he set the foundations for what Stanford basketball will be in the future. And, obviously the seniors on the team, myself, Max, and Cole, we try to set that standard as well, being the older guys. And I think one thing for Coach Smith is that he's a great culture guy. Wherever he's been previously, he's always, taken what he's had and made the most of it and exceeded expectations. And that's something that is special about him and his coaching staff. Wherever he goes, they will exceed expectations. Even this year, they'll continue to exceed expectations. And playing under him, he gave you a lot of freedom, a lot of confidence, and he really embraced every single individual on the roster and really cared about people as a person first, and then cared about them as a player. Just his philosophies of, a good team, your faith, and then, being a great basketball player is something that he's very important on, and that's something that I aligned with. So it was a very easy decision to, play for Coach Smith and, call him whenever I need.
Yeah, and everyone
Yeah,
I've
for
talked
sure.
to has said that Coach Smith's just a really good dude and all that. But like, as a player and a student of the school, how do you feel that playing for Coach Smith in the program as well as going to Stanford overall, how do you think that helped you grow as a player and as a person?
Yeah, I mean, just first off, when you're playing there, a new role, kind of being a leader, it's just you kind of have to focus on everyone around you and just build everybody else up as well as building yourself up was something that, Coach Smith helped me with, and being at Stanford definitely helped me with. And, obviously when you're starting something new, you kind of have to set the standard, set the tone. And for us, that was very important for me as a someone that wants to be a leader, somebody that wants to be a culture setter. And I think as well as being in the classroom with a bunch of great people, it's just learning how to interact with different people and just maximizing the opportunity that you have is something that Stanford has taught me. And I think one of the best things at Stanford they had was a community where it was like fellowship of Christian athletes. And I think it was a great opportunity for myself, my teammates, and the athletic community at Stanford to kind of grow in their faith and their Christian faith, which is a very big community. And I think that was something that really helped me grow as a person as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I was wondering a little bit about your any takeaways you had from playing for Stanford. Just there's a couple different on the list. What would you say?
Yeah, I think as far as takeaways, I mean, it was just the beginning for the basketball program. I think, obviously we finished, I believe, 21
Hmm.
and 14, but I feel like this year they'll be even better. Obviously, the freshmen that we had last year will take a big step. The sophomores will take a big step. The juniors will step into that leadership role of being seniors, and obviously the transfers, a new group they've had. They'll exceed expectations, exceed what we've did previously. And I mean, another takeaway is just to enjoy the experience that you've had there and enjoy the people that you're around. Go to as many sporting events as you can. Football, volleyball, water polo, beach volleyball, soccer, all those sports. It's just a unique place, and a special place for sure.
Yeah, and you may have only been a
What was your
Stanford.
favorite sport to attend at Stanford?
Ooh,
Good question.
that's too tough to choose. I love them all. They're all, you know, top 10 in the country. So, I mean, they're all pretty exciting.
Yeah, fair enough.
You may have
Uh,
only been at Stanford for a year, but you definitely, you left a great impression while you were there. And I'm sure there's a lot of them, but what is one memorable moment that you had that you're going to keep with you the rest of your life during your time at Stanford?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think the memory that I'll have is probably the shot against UNC. I think,
yeah.
Yep.
for our team and just, the ACC, the history of the ACC, when you think of the best teams, historically in the ACC, you think of UNC and Duke for sure. And to you go on the road and hit that shot for my team was definitely a great moment, something that I'll cherish. And, to see the reactions of obviously the UNC fans, but also my teammates, that's kind of what I watch. If I rewatch it, I kind of look at the bench and see the reactions more so than the shot. But that's just a moment that I'll definitely remember for sure.
Yeah, so is that moment like the let's go moment of your career? Like I know being a new player can be hard to adjust sometimes. Was that the moment that you were like, okay, let's get going. This is it. Like, is that the moment that really kind of turn on a switch a bit or turn on another level of your play?
What about the Santa Clara one though?
There was that one too. There's that play as well. That
Yeah.
one was good.
That was insane.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot. I think, that Santa Clara play definitely kind of, changed my mindset. But even the first game, scoring the first bucket, I was like, all right, let's go. Like
Hmm.
this is going to be a great year. And I think, obviously that UNC shot, I think for our team just gave us great confidence. I think once we hit that shot, we went on a 5-game winning streak. So that was something that was special for our team and kind of helped us propel forward.
Yeah, for sure. So I was wondering, obviously, you played at Cameron Indoor, you played at Maples, played at the Dean Dome. But is there one favorite or a few favorite college basketball arenas that you played in?
Yeah, I would definitely, Cameron,
Mhm.
Maples, Dean Dome. I also really liked Wake Forest's arena.
Yeah.
That's a fun place to play at. It was always packed. The energy there was crazy. Um, Playing at Syracuse was always a lot of fun. Um, there's a lot of great places. Even playing at Cal, just being a part of the Stanford Cal rivalry, playing there was definitely a great experience. So,
Did
you
you
know,
play at Breslin?
excuse me?
Did you play at Breslin?
No.
The Michigan
Yeah,
State?
yeah. No, haven't
Okay,
haven't
okay.
played there. So
Uh,
the ACC played in different spots in the ACC. I mean, every spot you go to has some sort of historical tradition.
yeah,
When you look around, you see NBA players, jersey retired, and the crowd is always going to be lively whenever you step into that arena. So
Yeah.
that's a great part about the ACC.
Yeah, and kind of building off of that question that Luca had, what was the loudest arena you played in? Like, was there ever a game that you played in your career where you had trouble with the noise a bit? Like it was like, oh, this is loud in here, and it's kind of hard to concentrate a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely had a couple moments. I mean, just being a part of the Duke UNC rivalry, I
yeah.
mean, it's kind of hard to hear yourself talking to your teammate. You try to call out a ball screen coverage and you can't even hear anything. It's just you guys out there just, it's all muscle memory at that point. It's not really communication much. So, being a part of that rivalry, it's hard to hear. Every play is just, you can feel the intensity. And that's something that makes college basketball so unique is just the crowd is something that's truly special and how passionate everybody is.
And did you ever have a favorite teammate that you played with? I know there's a lot. I know you played with a lot of great guys, but is there any teammate that you think of right off the bat? They're like, he's a good dude. I'm gonna be friends with him for a while.
Shoot, I have a lot of people I'm going to invite to my future wedding.
There
So
you go.
I have a lot of teammates I'll invite. So it's tough.
There you go.
All right. So Jaylen, obviously, finished up your 4 year career with college basketball, but I was wondering, what are your next steps in life? What are you, preparing to do?
Yeah, I mean, building off the momentum of the 4 years in college is looking to play professionally. You know, just been working out constantly. Currently in New Jersey, just working out and figuring out the next steps, whether to go overseas or still playing in America. Just beginning my professional career, and I'm very excited for this new journey.
We're super excited to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and playing overseas is cool. Is there any country that, if it wasn't America, would there be any country that you would want to play for or play in specifically and kind of experience the culture a bit, or are you kind of just leaving it all open and on the table?
Yeah, I think I would say I'm very open-minded. Um, you know, I think there's a lot that every country has to offer and a lot that I want to learn.
Fair
And
enough.
I think, there's a lot of obviously history in a lot of these different places that I want to explore. So I'm very excited for wherever life takes me, and I know that the best is ahead.
Yeah. And so I don't know if you heard, but there's going to be a new college basketball game coming out, I believe in 27 or 28.
I
You're
think
not going to be in
28.
the game, obviously, but if you were and you could be, what would you give an over? Now, what would you rate yourself and what would you rate Stanford basketball?
That's a good question.
Um, Yeah, it's a great question. It's kind of sad that I won't be in it. Hopefully, like 2K, they have the historical teams.
There you go.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
I would hopefully make the Stanford historical team, but it's tough with all the guards they have, Brevin Knight, Chase and Randall. So I would hope that I would make one. I would say, I would give myself a 90 maybe.
There you go. There
I
you
love
go.
that. Love
There
that.
you
Yeah, I
go.
would say I would give myself a 90. As far as Stanford, I'd give them a 92. A
There you
92 for sure. Yeah, I would say that. Defense would be on lock for sure. Those are different plays, the IQ for sure. So maybe I'll be in it. Hopefully they have the all-time teams and I can sneak my way in, be, 10th.
That'd be
10th.
cool. I believe they had that in the last edition of the game, but I honestly don't
Did they
remember.
really?
I
I didn't
think so.
know.
I haven't played. I mean, I have it, but I haven't played it in a while, and
I'm too young, dude.
it's so outdated. Like when I played at Stanford in that game, and it's pretty outdated, like everything
Yeah.
in that game. So it's a little bit weird to play 2009-10 season when we're 15 years in the future. So
Yeah,
it's
for
kind of
sure.
crazy to do that, but
That's gonna be a fun game to play. I'm so excited.
That is going to be a fun game to play. But yeah, Jaylen, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. Good luck on the next steps of your career. We will be rooting for you. Lifelong Cardinal over here, guys. So
Yeah.
if you ever see him out and about, do not forget that he was a legendary Cardinal. So, Jaylen, thank you so much for hopping on the show today. And yeah, thank you again.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
Thank you.
guys, thanks for another great show. We will be back on a more regular basis now that the football season is starting. So stay tuned for our show next week where we discuss everything from football starting to big games on the schedule, all that stuff. So stay tuned for more Cardinal Chronicles coming your way starting the fall.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jaylen. Appreciate it.